Yeah, I believe we are good to start. Yeah, good morning, all. I hope you are doing well. So, as yesterday we discussed about couple of things, like we understood about the beginning of SAP, how it started and why it started, and what were the upgrades they have been provided during this whole journey. I mean, how it started, like from the starting tier to architecture to SAP public cloud, how they have evolved themselves and what are the updates they have provided so far. And we understood the landscape of the overall SAP. And at the end, when I've explained the Fury, that time like most of you guys had a doubt like what makes Fury different from the on-prem server which I told you yesterday. So I just wanted to give you a more detailed understanding on SAP Fiori. So let me start off the day with SAP Fiori, understanding the SAP Fiori. So how many of you here use internet banking?
Almost everyone, I guess.
So almost everyone, right? So whenever you open up your internet banking application, do you type any command into that screen? Or you simply click buttons like whatever the options which are available.
We'll use the option which are available.
You will use the options which are available, right? So similarly, if you are into the home screen of like Amazon or else Swiggy, Zomato, whatever the applications which are there in your phone, everything is like a tile based, right? Like you just need to open that application and you the options will be get like whatever the options which you needed that will be in front of the screen. You just need to just click on that I mean the tiles. You don't need to open up any additional any additional type or anything something like that, right? You just need to click on that application tile and it will load up the data. So now tell me like if you look at the SAP screen, then let me show you that as well so that you guys can be able to see. Yeah, my screen is visible, right? You are able to see my screen, right? Hello.
Yes, yes, Raman.
Yeah. So this is the SAP screen. Here you see the search box. Here you see some radio buttons. Here you see some like options are there. But right now you don't have any idea like which button I need to click and where it will route it to me. So similarly here it became more complex for a new beginner to understand. Right. So, for example, if any new employees come, will it be easy for him to navigate to all the radio buttons? It won't be
So,
easy for him, right?
Shravan, if you don't mind, I'm unable to see the complete screen. It just dots everywhere and the name. Is it same for everyone or they are seeing
So,
different?
were you guys able to see my SAP screen? Like
No,
only
I'm also seeing the same dots and the names on this.
okay, okay. Let me share the. Now is it visible?
It's loading shop. Yeah, it's visible.
Now. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to explain is like whenever if you are using any application in your phone, you directly enter into that application and you navigate like whatever you want. Like it won't take much effort to do any like to perform any task. But similarly, in case of SAP, when you are into the screen, here you will be seeing lot of options, which will make someone who is already starting his career will make him more confused. For example, if you are a new employee, it won't be easy. It won't be easy to remember all the things like what will happen if I click this button, where it will navigate and all. So I'm trying to explain is that exact like SAP also realized this problem. So they've introduced the SAP Fiori. Are you guys able to get it? Like what I'm trying to explain?
Yes, yes, Shravan.
Yes.
For example, I will give you a simple example. Let me open up my whiteboard. See, this is like a banking website, for example. Okay. And the same bank have an application. For example, internet banking application. So which one will you prefer to use it more often as compared to both? Will you use banking website more often or internet banking application more often?
Internet
Internet
banking.
banking application.
Correct. Why? Because when you open up the banking website, you will get lot more of like information. I can say lot more of options, and you will be confused like where you exactly needed to navigate. So internet banking is application where you can easily open up, and you can do whatever in your fingertips. So this is where exactly SAP realized, and they also thought that, like, for example, if you see the SAP screen, which I shown you earlier, it will make you more confused and you won't be able to understand like exactly what I need to enter and where it will route it to me. So similarly, SAP realized this as a problem and they have introduced as a SAP Fiori. Okay, I hope this example makes you had cleared your doubts like regarding the SAP Fiori.
Yes, yes, Shravan.
Yeah. So basically, SAP wanted a software to look like a modern application. So as I shown you the screen earlier of the SAP, where you need to, if you wanted to navigate to any of the transaction, I mean when, or like any of the activity you wanted to perform, you need to enter the T codes, I mean the transaction codes. And someone who is all like recent, someone, a new employee who joined the company, it will be tough for him to remember all these transaction and carry out these activities, right? So what happened? SAP introduced the SAP Fury, where he can simply log into the system. I mean, it will be the more of like a web-based application where he can log in and he can perform his activities based on whatever the roles which are assigned to him. And Fury is something which you can easily access on the mobile phone and you can easily access on desktop. Like you no need to install something like a application or anything in the system. Okay, so it's more of like role based. For example, if you open up the Fury screen, it will directly display you the applications. Let me show you that as well in real time how it looks. Just a minute. Are you guys able to see my SAP screen?
Yes, Shravan.
Yeah, so this is how the SAP screen looks like. So I believe like most of you might have doubts like where I need to click, where I need to enter anything, how I can perform the activity. So similarly, if you are there in the SAP screen, here in the search box, you need to enter the T codes. Like wherever you wanted to navigate the system, you need to enter the T code. Similarly, for accessing the Fury, this is the T code. UI2 underscore FLP. So anyway, I will show you that as well. For the time being, I'm just showing you the screen like how it looks. So you need to enter your login ID and password. We will discuss about this as well. So if you see here, this is my SAP login screen and this is my Fiori screen. Are you able to see my Fiori screen, which is opened in the browser?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
do you notice any difference like here and here? There is a huge difference, right? Which one feels you more of like easy to do your things? This screen or
Fury.
this screen?
Second one.
Fury, obviously.
Right? Because here, see, here, if you click on accounts payable, it will open up all the accounts payable related apps. If you wanted to click on administration related application, it will show up you all the administration related app. Cash management, it will show up all the application which are related to cash management app. So you just need to click on it and it will load up the screen. But here in S4, I mean in the application, you need to type the T codes. For example, if you wanted to post any invoice, then you need to type the T code. So here the screen is more of like user friendly, but here the screen is more of like once you are get used to the SAP, then only you will be able to understand the screen. So SAP thought he realized this problem and they have came up with a Fiori application. So you can perform your activities in both the screens. I mean, you can carry your activities in application as well, or else you can carry your activities in Fury as well. It's up to you. Like whichever you feel like comfortable in using, you can use that. But here what happens? Everything will be in front of you only. Like you no need to go to the search and type. But here you just need to type like the T codes, whatever the activities you wanted to perform, you need to type the T code. That's the difference. And even the screen looks more of like a user friendly in Fury. So I hope that you guys are now able to understand what is Fury and what makes it different from the on-premise server. Still, anyone have any doubts regarding this?
No.
I believe yesterday Kalyani was asking, right? She had a doubt on this Fury, like what is Fury? Kalyani, I hope now this is like now you understood about the Fury. Or still you have any questions? Okay, thank you. So moving on to the next topic today, we will be discussing about like most important topic. I mean, like you need to understand before working into the system, the environment. Like whatever the systems you're gonna work, it will be called as a environment. So insist like if you see from the SAP landscape perspective, there are three environments. So first is dev, second is QoS, and third is prod. So did you guys heard these terms before? Like dev, QoS, prod? Anyone heard this before?
Yes, Raman.
Fraud.
Develop
Yes.
QA and production.
Uh, okay. So basically dev means development system. So what happens in development system? This is the place we as a consultant will work most of the time. Suppose businesses come to you and business say that they wanted any additional fields in the vendor master or they wanted to have any new tax code or they wanted a new company code. We won't be creating directly anything in the live environment where the business is actually performing their day-to-day activities. We first perform that task in the development client. We first create inside this development client. So once after creating this in development client, then it will be moved to the further clients for QoS prod. So think of development client as a laboratory. So similarly, how the scientists perform their experiments in inside a laboratories, if something goes wrong, nothing will be affected in development. So similarly, we as a consultant will configure and even the technical consultants like ABAPer, they will also write their code in development and we as a function consultant will configure the system. So everything will be started in the development line. So if we make a mistake in development, does the business get affected? No, like whatever the changes you will be doing in the development line, it won't have any impact in the ongoing activities of the business. This needs to be remembered. Moving on to the next, which is called as QoS, and once the development is completed, we don't immediately release the whatever the changes we did in the development to the prod. We release it to the QoS. So QoS means quality system. So what does quality system does? So here testing happens. So here different teams validate their like different teams validate whether system is working properly or not. For example, if we have created any new tax code or any new company code and it looks perfect in the development line, but in when the changes were moved to quality system, we tested multiple scenarios and with different company codes and we found an issue. So what we'll do, like I'm asking you guys, like what will happen? Like we have tested everything in development and we moved it to the quality system and we found that there is some issue. What will happen? Like what will be the next step? Anyone wanna try? Will we move the same changes to production or we will move again to the development system? What will happen here?
It will again move to the development system so that the errors can be rectified.
Correct. We will again get back to the development system and we will again do the changes and we will again move the same TR, I mean the change request to the quality system. And right after performing everything, then we will be proceeding with the production system. Okay. So the cycle will be continuous until everything is perfect. So like what happened exactly in quality system is that after technical testing is completed, the business user themselves test in the system. This is called as user acceptance testing, which is known as UAT. So in quality, whatever the changes we did in the development system, that same changes will be moved to the quality and here user will be performing the user acceptance testing. So what happens? They will test different scenarios as I told you. They will perform like all the testing, like whatever the activities which they do in day-to-day basis related to the changes we configured, they will perform all these activities in the quality system. For example, you are working on ABC company and business user from the finance department, they log in and they will perform the real business activities like they will create invoice, they will post journal entries, they will clear payment and they will check reports. If they are satisfied, they will provide the approvals and they will also confirm that the solution is exactly what we wanted. And based on the approval, we will be moving it to the further environment. But who will be the one providing that approval. Neither the consultant will provide, neither the developer. It's the someone from the business needs to be provide the approvals for the confirmation of the changes to be moved. So once after the approvals are received from the business, then we will move the changes to the prod system. So prod system is known as production system. So once after all the approvals are received, changes move to the production, and production is the live system. Employees across the world who is working in that company, every accounting entry, every customer invoice, every payment, everything happening inside the production system are like can be everything is performed live in the production system. So if production stop, the company loses money and every activity will be halted. So that is why production is highly secured. Here we won't be doing anything. Whatever you wanted to do or whatever testing or a configuration or anything that needs to be done in development system, and all the testing part will be done in quality system. So once the testing is completed, the same will be moved to production system. In production system, we as a consultant, we won't be doing anything. Like we won't be posting any journal entry. We won't be doing any other activity where our footmarks will be visible. So I hope like you guys are getting it what I'm trying to say. So to summarize it, first system is dev, and dev is system where we do the configuration. I mean here we do the configuration. Once the configuration is completed, that same is moved to the quality, and in quality we perform the testing. Okay, and once after the testing is completed, then we will have the user acceptance testing, and right after that business will also do the couple of validations from their end, and then after that it will be moved to the production and then live business. So this is how the whole activity is carried out in the system, and this is common across all the companies. Like here nothing is like differ from company to company, so the same approach is followed by all the companies and related to these activities. But there might be a chance like some companies won't be using the development, they will be directly using the quality and prod. Like it differ from company to company, but most of them follow this approach only. So I hope this concept is clear. Anyone having any questions before moving ahead related to this?
No,
No?
sir.
Okay, great. So moving on to the next, transport request. Anyone heard about this term transport request before? Which is also known as TR. Anyone here heard this before? Transport request.
Yes.
Okay. So, like, what do you know about the transport request? What do you
Um,
understand by this?
this is like a payment entry from bank end, as of I know.
No, no, no. Completely wrong, actually. So,
Mm-hmm.
suppose, like, for example, as I told you, in development system, you do the configuration, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how does this move to the quality? Do I manually create it again in quality? No, right? Like the same
No.
configuration which I did in development, I can't create manually by again doing it in the quality, right? So here
Okay.
comes the something called as transport request. So what happens when you configure the system, like whatever the configuration you do, I mean the changes you do in the development system, system will generate one TR, I mean the transport
Mm-hmm.
request.
Mm-hmm.
So the transport request will carry all the changes into it related to the whatever the configuration you have did. So that transport request which we have generated from the development, that same will be used to move it to the quality and production. Okay. So think of it as like a courier box. Whatever the configuration we make, SAP stores everything inside this transport request, and later the same transport request is moved to the next system. Okay. So let me give you a real life example. For example, you are planning to travel to some places. Wherever you travel, like you pack your clothes into a suitcase. Wherever you travel, the same suitcase moves with you, right? So similarly, configuration is packed inside this transport request, and that will be moved from one environment to another environment. For example, today I created a company code, tax code, a GL account, or anything related to the business requirement. All this configuration will be saved in this one transport. We don't create separate, like we don't be creating
हाँ
separate
इधर देखो
transport request for each of the
मेरे
environment.
वो कंप्यूटर काम है जब उसमें कंप्यूटर का है जब उसमें बैठ जाता
Hello.
Shamil, can you please go on mute? Yeah, thank you.
या सॉरी
So here we won't be creating any separate transport request for each of the environment. So whatever we generate in the development, that same will be used to move it to the further environment, like quality and production. Okay. So now the next question comes in, who will release this transport? Like who will be the responsible person to import this transport? So do you think like we will be the one will be responsible for importing this transport request in the system? Like as a functional consultant, will be the responsible to release the transport request and import in the system?
No.
No, right?
Yes.
So no, like we won't be releasing or importing. Mostly like we will be releasing, but the import will be done by the other consultant. So let me explain. So as a functional consultant, we create the transport request. So once the testing is done in development system, we the functional consultant releases the transport request. Releasing means I am done with my work. This configuration is ready. But it differ from company to company. In some companies, the release will be taken care by the some other departments, but most of the time, the functional consultant will release the transport request. The releasing means like it is ready to move it to the further environments. So who will import? Like you have done the release part, right? But who will import that transport request? So the transport request will be imported by the base system. So basis team are the technical team, you can say. They will be the one who is responsible for the system administration work, and they will be one who will be responsible for importing that transport request which we have generated from development to quality to the production. So functional consultant cannot directly cannot directly move the transport request from one environment to another environment. So for example, we as a functional consultant generated the TR. So once after the changes are configured, we release the TR, and right after releasing the TR, we will inform the base system to move the TR to the further environments. And what will do the base system? Once after we notify them, they will import the TR into the quality system. Okay. So once after the TR is inputted, the same like we will be like performing asking the business to perform the testing and all, and right after the business is confirmed, the same base system will move the TR to the production based on the approval. So in simple, we as a consultant will prepare the parcel, and basis will be the one who will be delivering the parcel. So any doubts here till now, like if anyone have any questions or anything before moving ahead to the next topic?
Yes, Shravan. This basis team is like technical consultants, right?
Correct. They are the technical consultant, and their sole work is to monitor, like they will be looking after all the system administration related activities. I mean, like they will be monitoring the systems, they will be monitoring the jobs, like whatever activities which are needed to perform from the system standpoint of view, they handle those things. I mean the monitoring part, I mean the maintenance activities, all that upgrade activities, they are the one responsible for doing that. And similarly, the movement of the TR from one environment to another, that is also handled by them only. And even like one more important thing, like even in real time, most of the like I have like as per my prior experience, like whenever if you wanted to perform the changes in the system, there might be a chance that the transport request will also be provided by the base system, or else you can also generate the transport request. It depends upon business to business. In some organization, base system will provide you the TR, I mean the transport request, where you need to use that, or else you can also generate by yourself. It depends upon business to business. Anyhow, I will also show you how the transport request looks, how it released, and how it imported in the system. That we will also see in the real time. No need to worry about that. You just now understand the concept, like why we do the changes in the transport request and how it moved further. I hope that it answers your question.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Any other doubts, any questions before moving on to the next topic? Okay, I am considering this silent as no. So moving on to the next topic. So I just wanted to clear it out, like why we never configure anything in the production directly. Like you guys might have this doubt, like why we don't directly do any configuration in the production. So imagine like you are running a marketplace like Amazon or Flipkart and you change anything directly in the application, in the live application. What if they make a mistake like during the change? So millions of users will be affected, right? Like you won't be able to place orders. Many of the transaction will get cancelled. Many of the orders will get cancelled. So same with the SAP as well. So production contains real invoices, real customer data, real payment data, and real financial data. So one wrong configuration can stop the entire business, right? So I will give you a real time example. Like I've seen this in my prior experience. So what happened? Someone by mistakenly he was like joined recently in the company and he was not having any SAP experience, and he somehow get able to get the credential of other folks, and he logged into system and he opened up the tax code related configuration, and there he changed some tax code. I mean, he by mistakenly clicked on one of the tax code entry and he just saved it without any like he clicked on edit and he saved that changes. So what happens after that, when the business was trying to use that tax code, they were not able to calculate the tax on the invoice value, and it resulted in the delay of the work, and the top management and everyone were rushed, and it took a lot of efforts to resolve that issue, and it altered all the business operations. So this is why we won't do anything in the production. So that's why no direct configuration happens in a production. Everything need to be passed on through this all the uh, clients, I mean the development, quality and production. So that's why we won't be performing anything in the prod environment. Okay. So Now we have understood everything like like the landscape and all, the TR request and why we won't be doing anything in the production. So now let's understand how the project team looks alike. For example, you get an implementation project and how the team will look from the business point of view. So first, there will be the business. Second, there will be the functional consultant. Third, there will be the ABAP team. I mean the technical team. Fourth, basis. And fifth, security. Okay. And the last is business user. Okay. So what is the role of business here? Business is the someone who identifies the requirements. They are the one who is responsible to identify the requirement. For example, business will say we need a new company code for our operation. So this is a requirement for the from the business. What will the functional consultant do? So the functional consultant will understand this requirement, I mean the company code requirement, and based on that, he will design the solution. So basically the role of the functional consultant, I mean us, to design the solution in SAP. Okay. Here you will be the responsible to gather requirements and configure the SAP system and parallelly test the solution and preparing the documentation like FHD, TSD, all the documentation. We will also cover about this now. No need to worry about the term. So you will be the responsible for the documenting everything and supporting the business. So you will be acting as the bridge between business and the technical team. And next is the ABAP developer. I mean the ABAP team. For example, if standard SAP cannot meet the requirement, so the functional consultant, I mean us, will connect with the ABAP developer and ABAP developer will write the code and create reports and forms and interfaces. And also he will be responsible for the enhancement and custom developments. So what does happen? For example, business came up with a requirement stating that they wanted a new company code to be implemented in the system. And they also came up back with the stating that they have an additional requirement as well related to the company code. And when you started to work on that requirement, you you find the standard solution, whether the business will benefit with the standard or not. And if you find that the standard solution is not going to help the business, then you will reach out to the ABAP team. So here, what I will ABAP team do? You will make them understand like what is exactly the business requirement is and why the standard is not fulfilling the requirement. And based on that, you will be the one who will be providing the logic. I mean, the logic is that like how we need to um, bring up the requirement exactly in the system, like from where we need to gather the data and what are the integration need to be done. That same will be you will be sharing with the ABAP team, and based on that, they will write the code in the system in the back end, and they will be responsible for creating the reports, form, interfaces, and custom developments. Okay, so right after that, we have the base system. So base system will be the responsible for managing the SAP landscape. Along with that, they will be responsible for managing the technical infrastructure. So what they will do? So here ACS team will install the SAP system and they will monitor the performance and they will create our clients and they will manage backups and most importantly they are the responsible for importing the transport request from one environment to the other environment. And and we have the next, that is security. So security is the team which is responsible for the authorization. So what does authorization means? So whenever you open the SAP system, whatever the activities you need to perform, whether you wanted to post any journal entries, whether you wanted to book any invoice, whatever the activities you need to execute, you will be needing the access to do that. So the access will be provided by the security team. So based on whatever the access which this team provides, then only you can able to access those T codes or the application and you can perform your activities. So they are the one who will be also responsible for creating your login IDs. I mean they will create the login IDs through which you can log in into the system and they will assign roles and they will also control the access, like who will be the one responsible for accessing these T codes or the application. Like they won't be simply granting you all rights. I mean, you can't simply access all the T codes which are there in the system. But based on your designation, based on your role, based on your task, they will be providing you the T codes and the application access. And at last, we have the business users. So what role does the business users play? So business users are the end users, end users in SAP. So what they do? They perform day-to-day activities like posting invoice, making payments, creating purchase orders, and generating reports. So during UAT, they also validate whether the solution which we have provided or which we have configured in the implementation phase, whether it meets the business requirements or not before it move to the production. Okay, so this is how the whole project team looks like, and they are like like if you see from the real time point of view, the same team will be there in the all the companies. Like there might be a different departments getting added in this list, but the flow will remain the same. So anyone have any questions or anything to ask? Any questions, guys?
No, Shravan.
Any doubts?
No, no, sure.
Okay, so today we learned how SAP changes mode from development to production through a control process using a transport request. And we understood also why production is protected and what is the different, like we also understood the roles of each project team members. So as a future PICO consultant, you will primarily work in the development client, I mean the development system, creating the configuration, performing testing, and releasing a transport request. And we will also be like whatever the departments or the whatever the team you are saying, we as a functional consultant will be parallelly working with all of this team. Like it's not something like that we have come design the solution and rest of the things will be handled by these departments. It's more like we will be coordinately working with each of this department and supporting the business throughout the implementation life cycle. So that's it for today. Like I thought of covering one more topic related to the client. So like that can create a more of like confusion. So I will be covering that topic tomorrow. And from tomorrow onwards, we will be seeing more of the system level configuration or I will be showing you the system and navigating all the different paths in the system. So yeah, that's it for today. If you guys have any questions or any doubts, we are open. The forum is open for that. Anyone, like if you are having any questions related to this or not related to what we have discussed, feel free to ask. Are you guys are getting like what I am trying to convey during the classes, or you wanted me to change the way of teaching?
It's clear, Shravan. We got your point, and it's very easy to understand whatever you have explained till now.
Because like see, like SAP is more of like understanding the business, and it's like it will take some time for you guys to understand all these technical terms and the concepts. So that's why like I'm trying to explain you with the examples before teaching out the more complex topics so that you can easily able to relate it the subject.
Yeah, in this tool, we are using any AI tools like in this model.
In SAP FICO you're saying.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So basically we have a AI tool which is called as SAP Joule, where simple it's like a more of like a chat GPT or a Gemini. So what happens, SAP had developed its own tool called SAP Joule. It will be integrated with your system data, and whatever you wanted, like for example, if you wanted to view your sales report, you just need to type a command in the, I mean, you just need to give the prompt, and based on that prompt, the SAP Joule will prepare all the necessary reports over the data which you are asking for it. So this SAP Joule you will be able to see in the public cloud and private cloud, but in on-prem there is no any AI related integration which is happening from the SAP. But still you can integrate a third party AI software or any tool which if you are planning from the firm point of view. But if you wanted to experience the AI from the SAP, then that can be viewed in the SAP public cloud or a cloud environment. So I will also show you in the like whenever we are covering that how the Joule works. Shamil, yeah, you raised your hand.
Yes, sure. Actually, SAP is a software, right? So I mean, to access that software, we need to authenticate and get the credentials. My
Correct.
question is that, do we need to buy that subscription or something like that, or if we join any company, they'll provide us the access to the tool?
Mm. See, basically when you join the company, so the company is already using an SAP, right? So then they won't be like you will be the not responsible for to pay anything. So whatever the company is using to do carry on their activities or to perform their activities, they are already performing the activities in the system. You just need to like you will be getting a user ID which will be created by the base system, and you just need to simply log in and carry out your activities. You won't be responsible for paying anything. That things the commercial part will be handled by the company only.
Okay.
You just need to just get the login credential from the base system, and you can perform your day-to-day activities.
Okay, okay, sure.
Any questions, guys? Or we are good to close?
Okay, I think if no questions, I think, guys, thank you so much. So those who need some help or something, maybe we are starting to create a WhatsApp group this week. You guys will have the complete information available in a WhatsApp group. about class recordings, class links, any reference materials, and everything will be shared in the WhatsApp group. Make sure you guys ask me for the link to join the WhatsApp group in case you don't see that by Thursday. By Thursday, everything will be ready. You will be in a group. In case if you don't see you are there in a group after Thursday, you can ask me. Okay. So by now you should have received a invitation emails also, those who have already completed all the formalities.